All this luggage must mean somebody's going on a trip. Guess where? New Zealand, baby. It's gonna be unbelievable. It's gonna be delicious.
I'm out of paper towel.
Look at that.
You can make it. Who doesn't want that?
Oh. And so you jump aboard your Air New Zealand flight to Middle Earth, and off you go. All right, here's what I'm learning. If you're gonna fly almost 13 hours across the world, you might as well do it the right way. And the right way is Air New Zealand. Let me tell you something. They want your New Zealand experience not to start when you get there, but to start when you get on the plane. And how do they do that? They integrate like all the New Zealand kind of foods into the meals that you're gonna have. You get to watch how far you've gone, where you are, what's going on. You get to see when you pass an international date line. The best part, the people, full-on New Zealand hospitality right here on the plane. These guys are fabulous. Fabulous, I say. And the fabulous in-flight service director, Jim, even taught me about New Zealand wines. And you know it's a long flight, so you rest a little, you read a little bit, you play around a little. And you, well, never mind. And so, after a 12-hour Air New Zealand flight, I think I look pretty good, rested, refreshed, and here we are in Auckland. Now, if you think of the world as basically a shirt and pants, California is somewhere around the middle of the chest. The equator would, of course, be the belt. Auckland is basically the socks. New Zealand is that far south. We're down here at the socks. But there's a lot to see. There's people to meet. There's food to taste. There's places to go. There are things to do. There's a lot going on. We got to get going. And I need my bag. Let's go. Think Californian size and you've basically got New Zealand. Now travel about 6,800 miles to the South Pacific and you get to New Zealand's two main islands with a total population of about 4 million people. Now, when you think of New Zealand, you know, you're probably thinking Lord of the Rings and the untouched natural beauty and, of course, sheep. But that thinking would be bad. That's because there's just so much more there. It's surprisingly hip and very progressive and reportedly has more boats per capita and more golf courses per capita than anywhere else in the world. But balancing everything out are the Maori, the indigenous people of New Zealand. They make up only 15% of the population, but their influence can be felt everywhere. From names to food to the spiritual haka before a New Zealand All Blacks rugby game. So here I am, Sam the cooking guy, down under, driving on the wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car. And look, I can't even take my hands off here for a second. We've got 100 kilometers an hour on the speedometer. They call it a speedometer when it's in kilometers? I think so. Auckland, north, that's what we want right there. Hello, Auckland. Auckland is the largest city in New Zealand with 1.5 million people, or about 30% of the country's population. It's a beautiful city, beautiful and amazingly clean. It's home to the Sky Tower, the tallest building in the southern hemisphere, even taller than the Eiffel Tower. But I still needed to get to my hotel. I just put my windshield wipers on, trying to put my left turn signal on. Those are reversed. My real fear is that I'm going to turn into oncoming traffic. I did it again. I just put the windshield wipers on to turn. That's the third time. But look it, the traffic is on the wrong side. You're on the wrong side of the street. You should be over here.
But just keep going on the bottom where the red car is.
Yeah,
keep going.
that's it.
Just keep going.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. That's not the motorway, but it leads to it.
Thank you. You just have to ask. They're very friendly people. Yes, the windshield wipers are on because I keep. They're where the turn signal is in a regular car. Fine. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, so it wasn't all that easy, but we made it. How are you? When in New Zealand, friends of Sam the cooking guy stay at the Auckland Hilton. The Auckland Hilton on Princess Wolf. It's a bloody beautiful place to stay. Auckland Hilton, make it your home away from home. The terrible accent is awful.
One chef selection action, please.
But this is a show about food, and I actually need to eat something. So coming up, we go head first into the New Zealand food scene. It may be a small thing, but there's something about the colors of things here in New Zealand that I find really fascinating. For example, butter is way, way yellower than it is at home. I mean, there's no comparison. And cheese, see this? This is cheddar cheese. And it didn't occur to me until the other day when somebody said, we don't have orange cheddar here like you do. And I thought, what's wrong with that? And they said, well, when was the last time a cow gave orange milk? They're right. But for something really startling, check this out. Egg yolks are not pale yellow, they're almost orange. You gotta see this. Look at the color of that. That's an egg yolk. The first time I saw one, I thought it was bad. And you know what? It's not bad. It's really freaking good. Really freaking good. Love this place. And so from breakfast to seafood. The variety in this place is goofy. Gorgeous New Zealand green lip mussels, beautiful eel, like we'd even know what to do with a whole eel, creamfish and crabs, some terrific looking scallops. I'm starting to pick up on this general awareness level about food knowledge that the Kiwis have. They really know what they like, and they like variety, and there's no better example than that when it comes to seafood than this place, Seamart. Everything's covered here, and I mean everything. And it wasn't just fillets either. They love their whole fish here. I mean, snapper and kingfish, something called hapuka, and mai and salmon. But I was getting hungry, and it was time to eat something. What makes a deli the most successful deli of its type in New Zealand? Let's go inside Zarbo and find out. The rumor is that New Zealand has more restaurants per person than anywhere. Zarbo's a wonderful cross between a bakery, a cafe, and a deli. Hey, they've even got a whole line of their own stuff. The place was jumping when we walked in, and I talked with Mark McDonough, the owner, about the whole New Zealand food scene.
It's just food everywhere, and generally good food. Where we're lucky in New Zealand is that we've got fantastic fresh produce to work from. Like the atmosphere is clean, the food is not necessarily organic, but it's we can trace it back to where it's come from. It's just fantastic produce.
Yeah, and I particularly like your story because you were on your way to being what?
I started off doing a law degree.
Yeah.
And then thought I don't want to be a lawyer.
You know what? I didn't want to be what I was, and we both ended up in food.
Exactly.
I would love to talk.
And as the sun set over gorgeous Auckland, I headed to White Restaurant for dinner.
Ordering for white, 2 modes, followed by 6 oysters, natural. Mains, 1 main special, 1 beef, 1 mash, 1 veg. Service. Along with the oysters, tempura.
I spoke with executive chef Jeff Scott about what he tries to do in his restaurant.
The idea is that we try and use specialty product from around the country. Now, in Rotorua, for example, we've got these wild kura, freshwater crayfish, babies, beautiful and sweet, very, very delicate. So each dish we try and pick 1 or 2 components that make it unique to New Zealand and unique for our guests who are visiting from overseas.
And Jeff wasn't kidding, but how do you know unless you really try it? So out to the main restaurant I went, and he totally wowed me. A combo pea mint and pistachio soup, a kura salad, and the actual crayfish itself, a crispy skinned snapper, and the most amazing dessert. The perfect end to perfect meal. Coming up after the break, the Avondale Market with these guys eating hot dogs. I know you think they're corn dogs. In New Zealand, they call them hot dogs. How are they?
Nice too.
Beautiful. Yummy.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Blow, blow the winter wind. Thou art not so
Great way to learn about people and their food is by going to where the locals hang out. So I headed to Avondale, an open-air weekend market.
not so keen, because thou art not seen.
It has everything that you want in food. Fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, fresh meats.
Maori chef Edna Sterling was my guide as we checked things out. Totally had fun looking at the fruits and vegetables. Little baby mandarin. Reminds me of my youth. I used to eat these as a kid. I'm having a little trouble here. And I prefer not to have trouble on camera, so let's walk. And even though I don't even drink soda, I was completely fascinated by the local New Zealand L&P.
Lemon and pyro.
And so for my first time in New Zealand, the whole cultural melting pot thing started to become really apparent.
Oh, totally, especially in this market. I mean, you will only get this feeling here at this market. It's like a social event. It's a huge community.
I like it.
And
it's a great feel.
It's something that, you know, you actually get to intermingle with other cultures in a very concentrated way.
And as my hunger started to really build, I asked about what there was to eat in the food stands. Ah yes, the boil up. Sort of a New Zealand pork stew kind of thing. That's what you want to see, that right there.
Now she's putting in the dough boys. Yep.
Dumplings.
The dough boys into the,
Yeah,
and you've got your pork backbones.
this is my first ever boil up.
And then you have your potato.
Potatoes, nice. And
And then she'll be putting in the watercress.
watercress. Okay, so at this point I'm thinking, it's maybe not the best looking thing I've ever seen, but I'm definitely dying to try it. So while we're getting this, a girl over there said, the appropriate thing to do is find a curb and sit down, right?
Yeah.
So we did. Spork,
The spork.
half spoon, half fork.
Absolutely.
Maori bread,
That's a Maori bread, and that's done with the potato yeast.
it's sweet.
Just-
What do you do?
Well, just eat from the top, and then you can work your way around it.
So here's a bite of pork. Oh, you know what? I really like that.
And so the food that the Europeans introduced to our culture was very quickly taken on board as ours. So the boil-up is traditionally called a Maori cuisine.
Now it is.
Now it is.
Not to be confused with a piss-up,
Exactly.
which is a whole different thing, right?
Although this food is the ideal remedy for after
A piss-up?
a piss-up. Well, as the young girl said when she told us to find a curb, she also said eat with your fingers.
Oh. Yeah, okay, I forgot that advice. Okay, so it might not be the official food, but I was very pleased to come across a New Zealand favorite. One of the things I like a lot here are their pies. And I'm not talking like peach and blueberry, I'm talking pies with meat in them. They call a hamburger mince, but like lamb and curry and steak and mushroom. This one right here, this is mince, cheese, and baked bean. That's pretty good. And of course, I had to start tasting. I had steak pies, I had lamb pies, I had curried lamb pies, I had mince and cheese pies. Chicken and vegetable. It's pretty good. And just in case you were wondering, yeah, my problems eating did follow me all the way to New Zealand. Oh! It's a lethal freaking weapon. Come on. Come on. That's not even funny now. All right. I need a napkin.
I need to do that again.
It's a pie disaster. Can you give me a napkin, man? I can't even go in there looking like this. Oh my God.
Okay, let's
I
do
burned
this.
myself. I totally burned myself. Dude, I'm telling you. Don't get. It might be good. Don't get pies with beans in it, because it's a train wreck. Coming up next, one of the real reasons I came all the way to New Zealand. And the real reason that we came to New Zealand was the food show. 3 days of food, more food, and even demonstrations from people like me. Imagine nothing but food spread out over 4 huge buildings. This show's ended, then guess who's up? Thank you. So this is very sweet of you guys to all show up here. You have no idea who I am. That's right. They didn't know me from a bar of soap, but they did come ready to have fun and learn. And there's chili sauce and chili paste. The chili sauce doesn't have the seeds. Yeah, that's really good. All right. And what a surprise. Of course I couldn't figure out the ovens they had there. I need an oven for the crab wontons now. We're figuring this out as we go. I mean, there was no set plan for how this whole thing would go down. And as if being down under wasn't enough, Mary Durham from TVNZ interviewed me for her show, Headliners.
In his own words, Sam's just a regular guy using regular words, making easy, great food.
Can we go?
God, I hope it is.
Turns out Sam needn't have worried, as margaritas are fab, as
Milk on the
quesadillas
inside.
even better.
I say big in taste, small in effort. That works for me.
It's 100% pure fruit juice.
And what also worked was the exhibit part of the food show. Tons of booths with everything from something called daka to New Zealand's indigenous foods. You come to a place like New Zealand, you want to try the unique stuff. I found this thing here. It's called cereal. Huh. Here's something we don't have at home. Ginger beer. Doesn't even taste like alcohol. Hey, wait a sec. You probably drink a lot of this. Avocado oil. It's pretty much everywhere here. I don't really see it much at home, but you know, I gotta tell you, it's really good. So there I was walking along, and all of a sudden I was like fully drawn to the naked organic food. I don't know. I just felt the need to come over here and try a little something. Just a little. One of the greatest things that you're going to find in New Zealand, besides the people, and these ones we've just been chatting with, and they're very sweet, is the New Zealand wine. Come for the wine, stay for the people. Or the other way around.
I don't know.
Little smoked mussel never hurt anybody? You ever have that problem? You have people over serving wine, you put your wine glass down, you come back, somebody else has picked it up? Not anymore. That's frickin' brilliant. Hawke's Bay, one of the greatest places down here. You can't really come to New Zealand and not have a little kiwi fruit. Check these out. Here's a green one we know, here's a golden one. They don't really get that. But what's really interesting is New Zealanders are called Kiwis, but it's not because of this. It's because of the bird, the Kiwi bird. A little info for you. And then there was Woody, my kind of guy, a flair bartender extraordinaire. All right, now, is this a food show or is this a food show? And look, I even got a pie. You got to stay tuned for next week. More New Zealand. We're going to Rotorua, where we cook a trout under the geothermal heated sand. And to Wellington, where fresh-caught paua is cooked right on the beach for us. Sam the Cooking Guy. See you next week from New Zealand. Sam the Cooking Guy Down Under was made possible with the outstanding help of Tourism New Zealand. Really great people with totally cool accents. For more information about New Zealand, check out their website, newzealand.com. And for more about my trip, check the website, ctn.org. Really fascinated with the Kiwi Toilets, and I'll tell you why. They have this one. What? Get your ass out there.
I'm in the video.
Get your ass out. Come on. The flushing mechanism is really intelligent. Let's say you only have a little bit of business to do. Then you push this first button in the front that says half, and you only get half the water and only waste half the water resources. If you got a lot of business, you push the thing in the back, you get the full flush, all the water, and you know what, as they say here, Bob's your uncle. Hey, quick, look at my new friends.
Hi.
Welcome to the, oh, like the camera comes out and look what happens. Coming up after the break, the Avondale Market. And in New Zealand, they call, it's gone. We're going. But before we go, I thought you'd enjoy this. New passport picture of me, Sam the cooking guy. Ready? Old passport picture of me, Sam the mugshot guy. My brother over here eating his breakfast.
Dude, this is good. I can't help it, man.
See that? Jamie, Bleeding Oliver, and Amy. Sam the cooking guy, and Amy. Same smile, go on. You actually look happier with me. Is he nice or is he a bit stuck up?
He's lovely. He's just
Come on,
like
he's a
he
bit
is on the
stuck up.
telly. No, he's sweet.
Back one. I have a choice at this ATM. I can either take money out or I can make a donation.
Oh, you can totally do it.
What's the deal here?
I'm parallel parking backwards. I can't do that.
Come on, baby. Squeeze it down. There we go. Attaboy.
Oh, I can't.
This is good. Now turn it. Now turn it. You got plenty of room back there.
I do?
Oh, yeah. Right there.
All right. Hey, wait a sec. Who's the man?
I told you, man. I told you.
We're going for chips. We're going for fish and chips. Not only did I have my blinker going the wrong way, but I went to turn it off and I turned on the windshield wipers again. I'm killing myself here. Oh gosh. Apparently I'm dumber than I look.